The first meeting of 2024 for the F1 Commission took place earlier this week, and with car launches and other crazy news in the F1 world, you might have missed the important announcements that came from the meeting. With 6 F1 sprint weekends set to take place this season, the F1 bosses have come to an agreement on a change for the format and some other important technical changes. So before we take a look at what was agreed upon, take a second to hit that subscribe button on our channel, and remember to leave a like for this video. The sprint weekends in Formula 1 have been controversial since their debut in 2021, and many fans aren't too happy with the format altogether, even after 3 years. 2024 will see another alteration in an ever-changing bid to find the perfect sprint weekend format. The F1 bosses have agreed to these changes and are just awaiting ratification from the World Motorsport Council on February 28th. Here's how sprint weekends will look this season. Friday will feature one free practice session that will be followed later by qualifying that sets the grid for the sprint. On Saturday, the first session of the day will be the sprint race, and that session will be followed later by qualifying for the Grand Prix. And finally, the unchanged full-length Grand Prix taking place on the traditional Sunday. The big change is having the sprint race as the first session on Saturday, which up until this point has never happened. This raised a lot of questions by fans on social media who asked simple questions like, what happens if a driver crashes in the sprint? What if the damage is too significant to repair in time for qualifying? It certainly sparked a lot of debate in the F1 community, and it will also be interesting to hear what the drivers and teams will have to say about it when we approach the first sprint weekend of the year. A reminder that 6 venues will host sprint races, which include China, Miami, Austria, Austin, Brazil, and Qatar, with China and Miami hosting their first ever sprint weekends. The sprint weekends might not be a favorite of the fans, but Formula 1 swears by their success. They stated in a press release that, quote, according to research by Nielsen spanning 21 markets, the 2023 Azerbaijan Grand Prix saw the broadcast audience for qualifying at plus 83% versus the 2022 second practice session, while it was plus 139% for the US Grand Prix and plus 34% for the Belgian Grand Prix. In addition to the sprint weekend changes, it was agreed upon that the power unit allocation for drivers will be increased from 3 to 4 per season for both this year and 2025. And finally, an important change was made for the races regarding the drag reduction system. DRS activation for the race will now be after 1 lap, as opposed to 2 after the start of a Grand Prix or the restart following a safety car. So that is some of the big changes coming to F1 racing in 2024. What are your thoughts on the sprint weekend changes, and will it make the format more exciting and successful? Leave your thoughts as always in the comment section below, and thanks for watching today's video.